Here. There we go. Oh.
And welcome to this edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, I'm Robbie. This is Kyle. Kyle, how are you tonight, buddy?
Doing pretty well. Not too bad. How are you?
Doing great. Nice weather out. You know, it's sort of more of a fall feel, I've always liked the fall.
Yeah.
Fall's nice.
No, it's nice. I mean, fall's like definitely some of the best weather I think you can have all year. You know, at least till winter comes along. But you know.
Yeah, winter's coming. But. Yeah, no, yeah. It just got a little depressing there for a minute.
I don't want winter.
It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna get through it together. We're gonna be okay. Think happy thoughts. Think warm thoughts. Think child thoughts. Think happy thoughts.
No, skating on the ice. I can't do it. Oh, no, anyways, okay.
Anyway, but it's interesting. So. This past weekend was a long weekend, as many of you out there watching know. It was Columbus Day / Indigenous People Day, whatever you choose to celebrate. We don't judge here. But the difference this year between this year and past years was that it also was another day on Monday. Nope, not Patriots Day, but close. It was Marathon Monday.
Yeah.
That's right, in October. Yes, the Boston Marathon finally was back in person for the first time since 2019 after they obviously had to postpone it or cancel, I should say, in 2020 due to the pandemic. Then had to postpone it from April to October this year, again, due to the ongoing pandemic situation. But it was back on Monday. It was just amazing to actually finally be able to see the Boston Marathon back in person and to be able to sort of go down. I went down to Wellesley Center because obviously Wellesley is actually literally at the halfway point of the marathon. And so I actually went down and watched an hour or so, watched the elite runners come through, watched the first wave of the sort of the charity runners come through, the big wave of runners come through. It was just amazing. It was so much fun to be able to finally witness the Boston Marathon in person again after, basically 2+ years of it not happening, and it was pretty wild. But what we wanted to sort of discuss in relation to the marathon tonight, and this is actually an idea that Kyle came up with, so much appreciative to Kyle for tonight's episode idea.
Thank you.
Was sort of how we feel about the marathon being held in the fall as opposed to being held in the spring, October compared to April. And by the way, the next marathon will be back in sort of normal time frame of April, literally 6 months from now.
Oh, they're doing it again?
Yeah, they're going to be doing the normal Patriots Day Boston Marathon.
Okay.
Come April of 2022, so definitely
cool.
The next one is coming up fast, so to speak. But Kyle, since it was your episode idea for tonight, I want to sort of start off with you, and just sort of want to get your thoughts on the topic at hand. It's sort of thoughts on the marathon being run in the fall as opposed to being run in the spring, and sort of comparing and contrasting, I guess, if you want to sort of call it that. Running in the two different seasons and two different time frames.
So that's an interesting one. I will say this, because it's funny because I actually had no idea up until maybe even a week or two ago that they were even doing the marathon um, on in October, for the 3-day weekend, and like it just kind of hit me out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, they're wow, that's actually kind of cool, and that's I actually really like the fall. I know the tradition is like to do it during the spring and stuff like that, and like, but the problem for me with April is that a lot of times it gets very rainy, and I remember
Sure.
I did go to a marathon event that was exceptionally rainy one year.
Kyle actually ventured out in 2018, whereas I stayed home and watched on TV.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I'll give it this though. It was a hell of an adventure, to try it, in that weather condition. But I would say I prefer in the fall, mainly because it's not quite as rainy. I feel like at least as it normally is in like April during the spring and stuff like that, and the weather is still nice.
Very nice. How much?
Like sometimes, yeah, right? Like sometimes you still it can be a gamble because sometimes in October you don't really know what kind of days you're gonna have all the time. Like October, November, it could be really cold, it could be mildly cold and stuff like that. But seeing as how the weekend was, it was like perfect running weather. At least to me it was.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
no, you're right.
I don't know how if a professional runner has any differing opinions on that, like I don't know, like it was just, and it was also I feel like it must have been nice. I mean, granted, I can't say from experience because I actually did not end up going because I had a very busy weekend, um, but I feel like it's kind of nice when you have like the aesthetic, like the fall aesthetic as well. When you have like the leaves kind of around, and I don't know, I feel like it kind of gives a different vibe, and I personally love that vibe. So I would choose the fall over the spring myself, but that's just me. So those are just kind of yeah. So
No, I
how do
see.
you?
Hey, listen, I see. Honestly, I could go either way. I mean, I really
Okay.
don't. I really don't like have a preference. Really, I mean, I've enjoyed watching it. In April, the few times that I've been able to sort of go and watch it. When it's been held. Sort of the normal Patriots Day date.
Mhm.
So to speak, but I also really enjoyed it, this past Monday, watching it, in October. I mean, and I guess part of it, I feel like maybe part of it this year is just the fact that, it'd been 2 years and, like, it just finally, it's like, again, another sort of bit of normalcy, so to speak, and it was just like, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, it didn't really, like, I really, doesn't really matter to me either way, just the fact that it's, like, happening, like, if it's held in April or held in October, I'm fine with it. I mean, heck, they could hold 2 marathons as far as I'm concerned, one in April and one in October. I'd be perfectly fine with that as well. Maybe they should do that. Maybe they should do Boston Marathon 2.0.
That would be cool,
Yeah.
I like that.
2 Boston Marathons in the same year.
Yeah, and yeah.
Or not, no, it wouldn't be in the... Well, yeah, I guess it technically would be because, like, April to October. Yeah.
But you're right. It's like the roughly like 6
every
months
6
so
months, like the
period.
half-year marathon and then the full-year marathon, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but,
actually, wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah,
no,
I agree with that.
No, I mean, it's another event for people to get to go to. I mean, by the way, I must say this: the crowd was very good. Again for a couple of years off. I mean, a lot of people were. It wasn't like it wasn't jam packed or anything, but it was still a very decent crowd. I mean, a lot of people were out, sort of lining in the streets and cheering on the runners, and that's what kind of makes it also not just the runners themselves, but the crowds also like. Sort of standing there, cheering them on as they go and stuff like that. It's, sort of a taste of Americana, so to speak, for sure. So, like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm very glad that I was able to sort of get down to Wellesley Center and take it in. So,
very nice.
And by the way, I want to send a big congratulations to all the runners who participated in the marathon. I mean, I have a lot of respect for people who run marathons because to have to run 26 plus miles is just amazing. Something I mean, I could never do it, but I mean, for those of you who can, more power to you. And I like I said, I have a lot of respect for you. your athletic abilities. So good for you. But yeah, now it's on to next April when the next marathon will be taking place. And it was kind of fitting how, usually the part of the tradition of Marathon Monday is that there's usually a Red Sox game that goes on that day, usually in the morning, and on the April day, you usually have like 11 o'clock Red Sox game, and then the marathon's going on. But the Red Sox did have a game on Monday. It just happened to be a night in a playoff game, but still, it kind of like brought that tradition sort of fully back. The fact that you actually had a Red Sox game on Marathon Monday, so I thought that was perfect. So, and the Red Sox won, so that's always a good thing.
Great sports weekend,
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of other sports, it is now time to make the lovely transition to sort of always our favorite second half of our episode. And that is, first off, the fantasy football recap for the week. I'm going to go very quickly with mine because I lost in both my leagues. Both my leagues I was come back on, and unfortunately, just fell. So, I had won, like 2 straight in each of my leagues, so unfortunately, you can't win them all, but I'm 3-2 in both. I'm still pretty high up in the standings, so just gotta turn the page and bounce back this week. So,
nice.
Kyle, how'd your week of fantasy football go this week?
So I gotta say, I didn't really go well at all. No, I've actually been having definitely one of the worst seasons in a while. So, I'm now down 0-5. I just kind of had a little strike of bad luck. So, you know what? Might not be a great season. That's okay. Still having fun, though. I'm still kind of... I always like kind of rearranging the players anyways. So, you know what? I'm just kind of going to go in this season. I'm probably not going to win, and that's fine with me. So, I'm just... Honestly, I like this season because I like just going back into it. So, just the fact that I'm back in it is... Honestly, it's good enough for me. So, yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, yeah. Again, it's all about having fun.
Exactly.
It's not. You can't take it. You can't take it too seriously.
No.
And so I'm with you there. But yeah, that's so. Well, both of us will bounce back next week. I have faith. I have faith in both of us.
Hopefully, we got this.
Yes. But now it's time for Robbie's favorite football recap, and it's going to be, again, kind of a brief one this week. Because only 2 of my 3 teams were in play this week. Wellesley High unfortunately came up a bit short against Natick this week, falling 42-21. They fought hard, and they tried to battle back, but just at the end of the day, Natick was just too much for them. So now they sit at 3-2. They will be back in action this Saturday. Another game at home against Brookline. So hopefully they'll get back on the winning track come Saturday. BC had their bye week this week, so no game to report on for them. Okay. They will be home as well Saturday night against North Carolina State. And then the Patriots. They played on Sunday, and they got back in the win column, which is very exciting. Snapped a little 2-game losing streak by defeating the Texans in Houston. I think it was 29-26 was the final scores, 20-25, something like that. They had a field goal in the final minute to win it. Could have played better. I mean, defense had their struggles, but at the end of the day, they did what they needed to do, and they rallied back to win the ball game, and that's all that matters. So
there you
go. Go Pats, and they will also be back in action this weekend on Sunday, hosting the Dallas Cowboys as they look to get back to 500 with a victory here this coming Sunday. So best of luck to them. So now I'm gonna turn the floor over. Here's the floor. I'm gonna turn the floor over.
Oh, thank you. Wow, that's an impressive feat to do that.
Yeah, I know it's right. To another riveting edition of the Sue's Review. So, Kyle, what do you got for us this week?
Okay, so I wanted to do a kind of another so far, like how it's going type of review. So I'm not going to review the entire game I've been playing, but I did get a chance to get my hands on the newest...
Hey, you got your hands. Congratulations.
Oh, I got my hands, yeah. Oh, that's right, I have these. Yeah, I was like...
Sorry.
I was able to snag Metroid Dread, which is the newest game in the long-running Metroid franchise, which has been going on since I think it's like late '80s at this point. Back when the NES was a thing, you know. So, so what happened was, while a lot of people were waiting for Metroid Prime 4, which is a first-person sci-fi shooter from the series, we were actually surprised about, I want to say it was about like a few months ago. Nintendo's really good at just dropping these like big surprises. So they dropped kind of an update, like essentially a new entry in the Metroid series. So for those of you who don't know, Metroid is an older sci-fi series in which you're a character named Samus Aran, and it started off as a 2D side scroller, and you'd go around and you basically explored like planets and stuff like that, and you'd go underground and um it was a really cool game, very innovative. There weren't many games like it when it came out, and as the series kind of developed, you know, it came out on Super Nintendo, then on GameCube as a first-person shooter. Um, they kind of like it kind of really opened up how 2D games can really be. Like there's so much exploring you can do. They even give you like a map and where which shows you where you are. So it almost has like sort of an RPG element a little bit in which you can actually upgrade like your weapons as you go throughout the game. You find like these cool items after either defeating a boss or even just finding a secret room, and that's what this game does really well. It's kind of an update on the all those 2D games, except the graphics are like 3D style graphics, but you still move like left and right. So that's what a 2D side scroller generally is, like Mario as well, and like those types of games, the old school Mario Brothers. And so what I love about this game is that not only does it retain the really great just exploration of all the other games. You know, they brought back the map. They brought back everything pretty much that you love from all those other games. Um, but they added some new elements, which I thought made it really interesting. So, you know, you first start off the game, and it's pretty normal. You know, you go through different rooms, and you find your items, and you upgrade and stuff like that. But then what they did was they almost made this game kind of almost like a horror game in a way, and that's why they kind of called it, I think, Metroid Dread. So there's certain rooms that you go, or actually, I should say, certain areas of the game that you go into, and you actually have to run away from these unkillable robots that like chase you down if they even sense that you're around. So it adds this kind of extra, kind of what do you call it, like extra suspense, you know, to the game. Like you go in these areas and like you don't know if these robots are going to be waiting for you there, and it's really cool. It's very thrilling. It really keeps the surprises like that going, and I liked actually playing as Samus and trying to outmaneuver these robots, you know. And it's definitely trial and error because these segments aren't always very easy. I've already played through like 3 of them, and it's pretty tricky. You kind of have to. They just throw you in there, and one of the cool parts about it is that you have to, yeah, exactly. It's just like that.
Just throw them in, man. Throw them in.
Yeah. And you have to figure out what to do. So sometimes you just have to run away from them. Other times you have to do like a switch. It's almost like a puzzle segment. But you have to be careful because if you step on the switch for too long, then they could sneak up behind you and get you. So you have to be really kind of calculated on how you do this. And you have to be very quick. It's a lot of reflex.
I think I'm just miming out all the steps good. Here as you're going through.
It gives the viewers extra visual, so I like that. That's good. So far,
happy to help.
Thanks, man. So far, I really enjoy this game. I'll give you guys a more full review once I beat it. But so far, it's a great game. It really puts a nice kind of spin on what we already know about the Metroid franchise, but while keeping the things that we really like about it. So it's a great entry in the series so far. So I will give you the full review once I beat the game in a future episode, whenever that happens. So thank you.
Nice. Thank you, Kyle, as always, for that. Yeah, definitely always appreciative of hearing of all the latest goings on in the gaming and movie and all that stuff universe from you. So thank you, as always. And by the way, speaking of Kyle and movies and gaming and all that other stuff, please, folks, check out Marvel at the Movies with Doug and Kyle. New episode I know is coming out very soon.
It's in the works. It's taking a little longer because it's a special actually music themed episode. So I want to make sure I kind of really get this one right with the certain stuff that we talked about. So yeah,
definitely check them out. Check out past episodes, all that good stuff. They've been doing some really good work, and also please check out the Sports Blitz as well with Doug and I. New episode coming tomorrow. We're supposed to do this actually particular episode last week, but I had to cancel, so we're doing it tomorrow night finally with a very special guest. So we're very much looking forward to it. So
nice.
So definitely check out both of those shows as always. And that's gonna do it for this week's edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. I want to thank everybody as always for tuning in. Feel free to like, subscribe right here on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're all over the place, folks. And we're right here also on a couch in your house, in your home. But anyway, until next time, that's Kyle. I'm Robbie. And this is a couch. And we'll see you next time on a couch talking sports. Bye, everybody.
Mr. Rowe!
Come on, we haven't started yet. We haven't started yet.
What's up, man? What's up, man?
No, stay on the couch. Stay on the couch. Let's let y'all get
What's
up.
up, buddy? How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see y'all.
Yeah?
Hi,
What's up, y'all peeps? How's it going, dudes?
Doing well, man. How are you doing?
Doing pretty damn good. Had a good run club. Had a
Nice.
good cool Wednesday. The weather's perfect today. It's fall
It's
season.
perfect weather.
Yeah,
Perfect
right?
weather.
It's October
for it,
13th. Oh, no, it's October 13th, and like the witching season's here.
Yes.
Y'all, the witching season's here.